Good morning all. Today we are discussing about the physiology of limbic system, into which at the end of the session you will be able to understand various components of the limbic system, distribution and functions of different mesocortical neurotransmitter system, papez circuit. You will come to know what are the various functions of limbic system, as well as what are the clinical significance that is associated with the limbic functions of the limbic system. Let us begin. What is limbic system? It is the oldest part of the brain that mainly controls the emotional responses. And physiologically, it has complex internal connections within its components, multiple neuronal networks and neurotransmitter systems, and intricate connections with various parts of the central nervous system. If we see the physiological anatomy, it has got two parts: limbic lobe of the cortex and subcortical structures which are associated. That means the limbic system has got cortical structure and subcortical structure. Among the cortical structure, it is having limbic lobe and hippocampal formation, whereas subcortical structure include amygdaloid nuclear complex, hypothalamus, olfactory areas, septal nuclei, and anterior nucleus of thalamus. Limbic lobe, it is made up of cingulate gyrus, as we can see here in the diagram, then subcallosal gyrus and parahippocampal gyrus. This is the parahippocampal gyrus. Hippocampal formation that includes dentate gyrus and hippocampus. Then subcortical structure, these are categorized into diencephalic components and the other components. Diencephalic components will be hypothalamus, that is including the mammillary body. As we can see here, this is the hypothalamus part, and these are the mammillary body. Epithalamus and anterior thalamus. What are the other components? Other components include amygdala, nucleus accumbens, septal nuclei, prefrontal cortex, and habit. After we come to know the physiologic anatomy and the various parts of the limbic system, what is the papez circuit, which is playing very important role in the limbic system? It is a circuitous tract which interconnect various structures within the limbic system, and it is named after James Papez, an American neurologist and neuroanatomist. What basically this circuit is? Papez circuit connects hippocampus to the mammillary body of hypothalamus, as we can see here. Hippocampus is connecting to the mammillary body of hypothalamus. This mammillary body of hypothalamus is then connecting to the anterior thalamic nuclei via the mammillothalamic tract. And by thalamic projection to the cingulate gyrus, which in turn project to the hippocampus to complete the circuit. This particular, that means it is starting from hippocampus, which is connected to mammillary body, which is connecting to the anterior thalamic nuclei via the mammillothalamic tract, which in turn is connecting to the cingulate gyrus and projecting back to the hippocampus in order to complete the circuit. Major papez circuit, we can say. Minor circuitous tract of the limbic system connect other structure within the major circuit. What are the physiological aspects? Hippocampus is concerned with the septal nuclei. Hippocampus is connected to the septal nuclei through the fornix, and brainstem has reciprocal connections with the hypothalamus. Brainstem projection provides visceral as well as somatic sensory signals that includes pain, temperature, sexual sensation to the limbic system. Through the cortico-hippocampal connection, information about learning, memory from prefrontal cortex is referred or projected to the limbic system. Major neuronal fibers in the brain connecting various parts with each other are monoaminergic and cholinergic. Monoaminergic fibers are usually the catecholinergic, that is the fibers which are secreting norepinephrine, epinephrine, and dopamine. Serotonergic and histaminergic. Neurons which are projecting from reticular formation innervate almost all parts of the central nervous system and are mostly monoaminergic. In the limbic system, monoaminergic neuron amongst the all play a very important role in determining emotional as well as behavioral responses. As we are saying that monoaminergic neurons are playing very important role, let us consider the various neurotransmitter system which are available in the or which are playing very important role in the limbic system. The major dopaminergic systems are mesocortical, tubero-infundibular, nigrostriatal, and inserto-hypothalamic. Let us consider one by one. Mesolimbic or mesocortical system, which is originating in the ventral tegmental area of the midbrain. As we can see here, this is the ventral tegmental area of the midbrain. Project to various cortical, it is going upwards and projecting to various cortical and subcortical structures of the limbic system. The system plays an important role in motivation, drive, and in brain's reward system or the brain's reward center. Clinical significance of the dopaminergic transmission in the limbic system. Due to its importance, dopamine is significant for drug use as well as drug abuse. What is drug use or drug abuse? Drugs that increases the dopaminergic transmission usually stimulate the brain's reward system, and thereby cocaine, which inhibit the dopamine reuptake, and amphetamine, which stimulate the dopamine release and inhibits its reuptake. The repeated administration of these two drugs, cocaine and amphetamine, chronically stimulate the reward system of the limbic part of the brain and causes motivation. And therefore, these two drugs, cocaine and amphetamine, are a very potential agent or drug for the addiction to be drug use. Mesolimbic dopaminergic system is major site of action of neuroleptic drugs, which are used to treat conditions or psychological disorders like schizophrenia and other psychotic conditions. Amphetamine stimulate dopamine release and thereby is a drug of choice in the schizophrenia. Schizophrenic drug act by blocking D2 and D4 receptors. Tubero-infundibular dopaminergic system in hypothalamus. Cell bodies are located in arcuate nucleus. Tubero-infundibular. Particular part here somewhere the arcuate nucleus is. Periventricular nucleus and periventricular nuclei fibers terminate in the medial eminence, and thereby it controls the secretion of hypothalamic releasing as well as inhibitory factors into the portal system. Especially it has got a role in inhibiting the prolactin secretion. Nigrostriatal dopaminergic system. Cell bodies are located in the pars compact of the substantia nigra. This is the substantia nigra. Fibers project to neostriatum. It is projecting to the striatal, that is caudate nucleus and putamen. It is essential for maintaining normal muscle tone and therefore posture and voluntary. Inserto-hypothalamic dopaminergic system. It connects zona insert of lateral septum with the hypothalamus, and it is involved in motivation as well as in the ingestive behavior. After the dopaminergic system, let us have a look on noradrenergic system. Its neurons are mainly located in locus coeruleus, subcoeruleus, and other brainstem nuclei, and they mainly secrete the norepinephrine. It is having two major types: locus coeruleus system and tegmental system. This is a locus coeruleus system and this is the tegmental system. Locus coeruleus system, neuron norepinephrine secreting neuron fiber project from locus coeruleus to all parts of the central nervous system, as you can see here. That is to spinal cord, cerebellum, hypothalamus, thalamus, basal forebrain, and whole of the neocortex. This system is responsible or it is involved in modulation of sensory as well as motor functions, as well as it influences cardiovascular regulation and other autonomic functions. It is a component of endogenous analgesia system. Then tegmental norepinephrine or noradrenergic system. Its neurons are located in dorsal and ventral tegmentum, dorsal motor nucleus of vagus nerve, and nucleus tractus solitarius. Ventral tegmental system, norepinephrine secreting fibers which are originating from ventral tegmentum forms the ventral tegmental system, whereas norepinephrine fibers which are originating from lateral tegmentum forms the lateral tegmental system. Fibers of the tegmental system project to spinal cord, brainstem, and to all parts of the hypothalamus as well as basal forebrain. Ventral tegmental system is involved in the regulation of secretion of ADH and oxytocin, which are the postpituitary hormones, and hypothalamic secretion that in turn regulate the hypophysiotropic. Fibers of the dorsal motor nucleus of the vagus and nucleus tractus solitarius is responsible for controlling cardiovascular and respiratory functions. Norepinephrine transmission controls mood and behavioral. Drug abuse. Drugs that interfere with the norepinephrine transmission significantly influence mood and affect emotional state like euphoria, depression, anxiety, etc. Example, reserpine that decreases the brain norepinephrine production is responsible for the development of depression. And drugs that increase norepinephrine availability like monoamine oxidase inhibitors produce elevation of the mood, and therefore such drugs are candidates for the drug abuse. Then the adrenergic system. Cell bodies of the adrenergic system or neurons which are secreting epinephrine are mainly located in the medulla, and they are projecting from medulla to spinal cord, hypothalamus, thalamus, and periaqueductal gray. Exact role of this adrenergic system is not. Serotonergic system. Cell bodies are located in midline raphe nucleus of the brainstem. This is the raphe nucleus of the brainstem. Fibers from the brainstem are projecting to spinal cord, hypothalamus, limbic system, and neocortex and the cerebellum. What will be the function? Serotonin is an important mood elevator and which is also responsible in suppressing the sleep. Serotonin neurons are most active during the awake state and least active during the slow wave sleep. Serotonin also stimulates prolactin secretion, inhibit pain transmission in the dorsal horn of the spinal cord, as well as control circadian rhythm by influencing the functions of suprachiasmatic nucleus of the antidepressant and ecstasy drugs. Drugs increasing the serotonin transmission are effective antidepressant agents. Example, serotonin agonist like LSD, lysergic acid diethylamide, a popularly known hallucinogen, act by activating the receptor called 5-hydroxytryptamine receptor. Ecstasy drug MDMA, that is 3,4-methylene dioxymethamphetamine, produces euphoria by releasing serotonin. Drugs inhibiting the norepinephrine reuptake also inhibit the serotonin technique. Coming on to next system, that is histaminergic system. Cell bodies of the histaminergic neurons are located in the tuberomammillary nucleus of the posterior. The tuberomammillary nucleus, which is located in the posterior thalamus. Fibers from this nucleus are projecting to olfactory bulb and all parts of the cortex. The stamen is involved in the regulation of limbic functions like arousal, sexual behavior, regulation of BP, water intake, in and anterior pituitary stamen, which is released from the posterior hypothalamus, inhibit the thalamocortical projection neurons that usually are responsible for induction of cholinergic, abundant in basal telecephalon, thalamus, and the cortex. Project from nucleus basalis of minor to amygdala and neocortex. Both nicotinic and muscarinic receptors are present in the brain. They are involved in many physiological processes like learning, memory, motivation, perception, cognition, and REM type of sleep. Muscarinic blockers produce hallucination. Alzheimer's disease. In old age, degeneration of cortical cholinergic neurons produces senile dementia, and degeneration of cholinergic neuron projecting from nucleus basalis of minor produces Alzheimer's disease. In our next class, we will be talking about various functions depending on the various parts of the limbic system, then various connections of the limbic system, and various neurotransmitter systems that are located within the limbic part of the brain. And depending on all this, what all functions are brought about, or for what all function the limbic system is responsible, will be discussed in very next. Thank you.